Now, business analysis conversations are important because they help with better decision making. It is not tied to only one. See how business analysis is industries, and it's a body of practice that affects all kind of industries. So what we'll cover here are the core concept model. We'll look at some practical application and speak about some BA techniques. What are some of the steps we develop our careers? And also we'll look at benefits of IIB aligned certifications. So why does business analysis matter today? I've already said increasing complexities. So become necessary. Change has become drivers of industries because we would see later when we talk about BACCM how all these are interconnected and what the actual foundation of business analysis is. So in a rapidly changing, we need certain approaches, mindsets. We need certain techniques, and we have to be endowed with skills that will help us solve these problems that are emerging in the current business landscape. Now, cost misalignment, obviously. We know that if you don't diagnose problems, they cost organizations. You come up with solutions that are at best just not even being adapted properly because you missed the essential issues that need to be addressed. Identify what the root cause of issues or problems are in organizations and what these business challenges can do for organizations, because we will later come to understand that we don't only initiate certain changes because of problems. Also, business analysis matter today for decision-making purposes. And there are various techniques that helps BAs make better decisions. And these are all part of the body of practice of business analysis. So what is business analysis? If I mention, I remember Kyle held this survey and some of us said we have heard of business analysis before, but what really is business analysis and why has it become necessary for us to continuously talk about it and get professionals to understand what business analysis is? A practice of enabling change. You would see that some of the words in this definition has been highlighted, and later on we'll understand why. Now, business analysis is a practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs, solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. The major things we are seeing here, we are seeing keywords like change, we are seeing keywords like needs, we are seeing solutions, we are seeing value, and we are seeing stakeholders. These are the foundation of. Now, let's give an example. In an organization, there are people that the organization interacts with, either by providing a service, either by engaging the people are benefiting from a service that the organization is facing with people on a daily basis, because that is what its core mandate is. Now, all these people that tend to interact with the business find themselves in the bracket of stakeholders. These stakeholders, and sometimes it is the needs that that we recognize. And so we don't just provide solutions. These solutions must be integral, must be valuable to the stakeholders that we have mentioned already. So business analysis is usually problem and value focused. Now we are looking for what the root cause of these issues are. What are the opportunities for value creation? And then we transform this into strategic solutions that we have said must be valuable. Cross-functional nature of business analysis is what allows it to be practiced in various industries, and we'll see some of them soon. Now, beyond documentation, business analysis is a mindset. So we would see what is the mindset of business analysis. And we have to understand that business analysis is not about titles, it's not frameworks. It's fundamentally about the mindset with which you approach business analysis. So let's see how the business analysis mindset work. So let me skip to this particular slide. So it's analysis core concept model. When you see any building, one of the important things that people consider when they are building foundation that will take on the rest of the way, the aesthetics, everything that you see after the building has come up is supported by the foundation. So the BACCM framework, it is the mindset within which use in any industry. So these are the elements of BACCM, which includes the need, the change, the solution, value, stakeholders, and also context. If you remember when we defined the need, change, solution, value, and stakeholders were ingrained in the definition. And that's why they were highlighted, because they are part of the foundations of business analysis. Now we see the next concept, which is context. Organization operates in a certain context. Also, the stakeholders who we think about when we are preferring solutions, they exist in a context. So when we are describing business analysis, we cannot do away with context, because everything that is happening within a certain context. So when it comes to, let's start from stakeholders. When you walk into your favorite bakery where they serve you some very unique recipes of all sort of pastries, you would see that if you went and they have changed the menu without informing you as a stakeholder, there is an effect that it has on you, because probably you come to this place only because of the variety that they have. So if a change is supposed to happen in that organization, it will involve you, the one who walks in every day to purchase that particular variety of a pastry that you enjoy. It would involve the baker who is supposed to come up, probably produce the pastries that you buy on a daily basis. It would involve the chef. It would involve the kitchen staff who support, because assuming this new menu requires that there are certain machinery. If these staff are not able to use this machinery, it means production would be kept. And so at the end of the day, people will walk in and will not find what they want. It would also involve the delivery guy who goes to deliver these things, because probably he's on a certain schedule, but this production is given 1 more hour to make sure that everything is done. His schedule is affected. It involves the senior management, because it's possible that there is a cost implication to the change, and so they need to make up for the cost of this introduced. Now, all these categories of people that I have mentioned, they fall under stakeholders, because these are groups or individuals who have a certain relationship with the change. They would tend to have, because I've mentioned that if there is a particular pastry variety that you walk in to buy every day, there is a need that is being fulfilled for you, and that's why you walk into this bakery every time. Now, the solution also has a relationship with the stakeholders, or the stakeholders have a relationship with the solution. So any individual, the categories I've mentioned, anyone with a relationship with a need, with a relationship with a solution, or a relationship with the change, is a stakeholder. Now, stakeholders can be sources of needs. So again, if this bakery only deals with white bread, there are stakeholders who would come in and say, oh, these days we are looking at other sources of bread that are more nutritious, and so we would prefer varieties like wheat bread, right? If that is the case, these stakeholders are a source of need. And because of that, there must be a change in the organization to meet that need. So the act of transformation in response to that need is a change that we define here. Okay. So we have seen these elements. The first element was stakeholders, where sometimes they are the sources of the needs for the organization. Now let's focus on need. Need can be either an opportunity. So what this stakeholder has come to propose, probably after a survey, what they have come to propose is an opportunity for this organization to meet a certain need in the market. And that is the niche of people who want to eat healthy and think that wheat bread is the option to go with. Now, a need can be triggered. Needs, which are opportunities, can be something you have seen in the market that nobody's taking advantage of. So if in this current world, we are seeing a lot of things about AI. So if AI is something that you see in your niche, people are not taking advantage of, and it's going to give you a certain, that is an opportunity that an organization can jump on. Once they do that, there must be a change to meet that need. And so change comes into place when there's an identified need that transformation is required to meet that need. So these are the three we have spoken about now. Now, what is a solution? Okay, so a solution is any specific way to satisfy that need. So they came to this bakery. They suggested that for the period we have seen that what you create, what you bake, or the product you have available is only white bread. We prefer a variation, which is wheat bread. The production of that wheat bread, you have met that need for the category of stakeholders. So that solution has come to meet a certain need that has come to the business's spotlight, and is now going to be an advantage for the business. Now, one other thing we have to think about is value. So value is the worth. What is the importance of that solution? And so I have mentioned previously that it is important that actually are able to meet the true need of a certain organization is, because once you know the need, you would be on the path to create a valuable solution. So if you miss what the need is, what the true need is, you're going to end up creating a solution that meets the market. So we see over the period, there are some technologies that were leading the market that have become obsolete. I'm sure that they never saw themselves at that place. I think Nokia, I once saw a post, and what they said, do anything, but then they are far behind. They lost out. They lost out because they did not move with the change. They did not move with the needs that were arising. Okay, so value is something that is very important when it comes to business analysis, because solutions that are not important, if you provide solutions that are not meeting the true need of your stakeholders, that solution will not be beneficial, right? And we have already seen that if you come up with solutions that are not valuable, first of all, you have wasted resources, monetary resources, time resource, even human resource. Now, all of everything I have mentioned is taking place in a certain context. So this context is the environment in which the change is happening. So the context can be defined by the attitude in the environment, okay? The context can be the behaviors, the beliefs. Context can be competitors. Context can be the industry you even find yourself in. Context can be regulations. Context can be the weather. Context can be technology. So all these define the context within which a change is happening, the context within which that transformation is taking place. And that can be the reason why a certain solution will be valuable or not. So everything we are seeing of business analysis occurs within a context. Now, if I were to ask all of you, in the work that you do you interact with people? We have different levels of interaction, or the organization, does it prefer a certain solution to certain groups of people who would see that this particular concept we are talking about is versatile. It works in different industries. I previously mentioned that business analysis is practiced in different industries, one of which is finance, healthcare, fintech, banking. Now, I would show you as we go along the Global State of Business Analysis Report for 2025. We would see from that survey and it's the analytics that came out in the report that different represented in this report, right? They took part in the survey. And so we will come to understand that business analysis is not about a job title. It is not about a job title. It's not about being called a business analyst. Business analysts are called many things across many industries. Some of us are already even practicing business analysis, but we are not aware. We are not aware that we are practicing business analysis because we don't even know about this framework, and we don't know about the practice of business analysis. We don't know how it affects the industry that we find ourselves in. So I would like us to take to our, our chat and look at a few, give answers to some of these questions. I'll actually share a document which you can use on your own later on to think through some of these things that we have discussed, especially on the BACCM, which is the foundation of business analysis. So in your current role, I would like you to do so in the chat. I want to see your responses. I want to see what responses I'm going to get, okay? In your current role in the organization, what do you notice, what problem do you notice at work? With what we have spoken about till now, what problem do you notice at work? I would like to see some responses. I see someone, Jason says, need creation. Please, I want more responses. Thank you, Jason. One more response. I want this to be. So what are some of the problems you notice at work? Okay, slow response to customers, need for a working structure. Someone raised the hand. Is that Michael? Okay, so Michael, please take to the chat. So slow response to customers. That's one issue that a lot of businesses face. From businesses, we have already even said that if you are unable to tell what your actual problem is, then there will be issues with the solution you come up with.
I think we just. Sorry about that. I think we lost coach. So I'm just going to read. Just a moment. Yeah, I'm going to read commentary on the needs we've noticed in our organization. Jason Prince says, need creation. Yasmin Aziz. I think I know you. Slow response to customers. Samuel says, need for working. Michael says, lack of communication. Teresa says, need for a good governance structure to speed decisions. Totally agree with you on that one. George says, poor data collection due to technical know-how. Yep. Michael has indication and wrong data. I think people are agreeing to the data collection thing. I totally agree. I agree. Especially, you actually see that when it comes to elections, poor data collection. 100% agree with that. Shirley says, channel of communication. Looks like communication is a major thing in organizations. What the leadership really doesn't go too well with subordinates because they are also not picking up what the leadership is communicating to. All right. Any other commentary? Let's add in some extra 5. I also agree on the slow response to customers. The customer relations is a big deal in Ghana. It's a really, really big deal. I mean, you go to a restaurant and then they treat you anyhow, but they still want to make deals and scale their businesses and organizations. Any other need? There are 40 people on this call. So I'll be glad if you can just input in while we wait for Coach to. Problem of geographical location. Michael, can you unmute and explain that to us? Problem of geographical location. If you can explain that to us, for us, it will really be helpful.
Hello.
Michael, go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. That at times the area you are going to collect the data also may matter. In as much as maybe road, poor road, and also maybe the weather condition, specifically especially when you are going to the mountain zone over there to collect the data. These are some of the things I'm referring to.
Okay. I'm going to ask first, Teresa, when you said need for a good governance structure, want to unmute and explain or help us to appreciate much better? Teresa? All right, I think Teresa is work. Okay, I'm going to call Yasmin because I think I know her. Yasmin, would you want to elaborate on your feedback you gave us? You said slow response to customers. I know I've said something, but you can also elaborate on it.
I can't talk much more. I'll just chat in the chat box after the message.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, Michael, you can go ahead while we wait for Yasmin's response. Michael, your hand is up. Okay, Michael? Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Okay, if you're okay, then that's fine. My coach is back, so I just wait for Yasmin's response because she told me that she'll put it in the chat box. I'm still waiting for her response before I welcome Coach back. There's scope creep and poor business requirements prioritization, which causes us to lose sight of the business value. That means, do you want to unmute and elaborate, or you're good? Okay, I think Priscilla is back. Okay,
All
fine.
right. Okay. So, as some of the issues that we face now, because we don't do proper planning of the requirements, we end up going through, the situation where we experience a lot of people asking, stakeholders asking this, which was not documented, and will just divert us from the goal, and we lose sight of the actual value that we're trying to provide. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Lisa, please come again. I lost you. Sorry.
Please, am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes. So I was saying that one of the issues that we're asking we face in our organization, I'm saying that one business, the project manager playing the role of a business analyst, we end up not documenting the requirements well, and during the execution of this delivery of this value, we end up getting requests from different stakeholders, which end up wasting time, and at the end of the day, we lose sight of what we're supposed to deliver to these stakeholders. So yeah, that's one of my issues I face with my organization.
Awesome. That's a big need. That's really real. Okay, I'm going to read Yasmin's response and then we welcome Coach Sylvia back. Typically, it can take 3 to 5 working days customers due to internal bureaucracies. Truth of a truth, that's true. Clients would prefer same-day delivery or within 24 hours. That is very, very true. Thank you so much for sharing, Yasmin. All right, Coach Sylvia, please. Yeah, welcome back and over to you.
All right, thank you very much for the break. We are going to look at this case, and it's an application of the BACCM framework, which we understood they are the elements that are the foundation of the practice of business analysis. So we measure the solution, need, change, value, and then context. So in this case, we are saying that SkillBridge Academy is a professional training organization that initially relied on in-person classroom training. That is an effective way, but the model has limited reach. It has increased operational costs and made it difficult to serve professionals outside of major cities. So the demand for business analysis skills training has increased, and SkillBridge wants to explore more flexible and scalable ways to deliver learning. Now, we can look at this from the eyes of the BACCM framework. It would mean that there is a need in here, there are stakeholders, there is a context, right, that we are working with. There is value to be created. What will be valuable? What will be a valuable solution to these stakeholders? The change, and also what's the total solution or the final solution for this? So I would like us to consider, what do you think the need would be? You can still utilize the chat. What do you think the need for this organization is? Anyone can also think about who the stakeholders are. What change are we looking at making? Someone can also think about what the solution should be. What is this context that we are working in? Yes, so I would be looking out for our responses in the chat. So, as I mentioned, we looked at BACCM, which is a business analysis core concept for, 6 elements, which is the need, solution, value, change, stakeholder, and what you are saying. Yes, Bridge Academy. What do you think the need should be? What do you think a solution would be? What do you think the context of this transformation would be? What would be an appropriate solution? Any of you can come up with any of the elements that we have already discussed. Michael, please, are you clear?
Yeah, please. Please.
Okay. So let me see if there are any responses yet. Hmm. So you just go to that list. Okay. So let's discuss this, right? Some of the needs or the need SkillBridge has now is in relation with the kind of training, right? So this in-person training, and then it's restrictive because it can't serve other people in other jurisdictions. Professionals have probably communicated to them that they would prefer something that is more flexible and online. Now, you see, when we spoke about the need, we said professionals have come up. So it's similar to the scenario that I spoke about the bakery. So the need is now arising not only from the organization itself, but it's also arising from the customers that they are serving, are these professionals. And then create an IT team that will be able to address their desire to move their classes online. Now, what context, what change are we expecting? We have said SkillBridge has to change because they have to now move from the classroom physical delivery to a digital learning model. So that is a transformation that needs to occur. Okay. So we said that the change is an act of transformation in response to the need. That is the need to move online. So the transformation is now we have to shift from physical to an online mode of learning. Then the solution is probably they will come up with an LMS, learning management system, that will offer live classes, recorded lessons, quizzes, certification preparations. That is customized for SkillBridge and what they want to achieve for their professionals or learners. Now, the value would be that solution is expected to increase enrollment, because if you mentioned they are restricted, but if they give that option of moving online, you can save, it would mean that they would have increased enrollment. They would also look for learning experience for their learners. Now, for the context, it's a growing or an adoption of an online system. That is the context due to rising demand of the skills that they provide. So this part, I'm not going to go into the details, but I want you to go back. We'll share this with, I think we can put it in the chat for the participant to download. And what we'll do now is that when you go back, consider the context in which you find yourself. Consider some of the needs that you shared with us here on the platform. You would have time, so probably you can even engage through critical thinking and all, and come up with what need is plaguing probably your organization in your current role. If it's your own business, what needs are you looking at now? What should be the change, the solution? What value would the solution bring you? What is the context? And also, who are the stakeholders that will be involved in this? So this will be your work or your worksheet. It doesn't have to be just one need. You can replicate this for various needs that you have encountered. Now, my question to you is that you would raise your hand or indicate by a certain emoji when I ask this question. Do you find yourself working with stakeholders? You give me a thumbs up. So please let me see your reactions. Do you work with stakeholders? With what we have explained who stakeholders are. Okay. All right. So are you one person in your organization that your work requires that you bring up solutions for problems that they face? Solutions. You have to come up with solutions. Okay. All right. Now, are there measures that you put in place? So for you, probably you saved the organization some money. You have organizations, customer some money. Have you been involved in any of these activities for either your own business or for your organization? Do you save costs? Do you increase revenue? Do you or in your current role? Is this something, if it's something that you do? Okay, mentioned. Okay, Richard says he does as well. Jason, all right. And then if you are involved in any of these things that have this revenue, people who patronize a certain practicing business analysis from what we have seen. From what we have already we have somebody is called. It says that sharing solution, you are behind increasing revenue, interacting with stakeholders. You are also behind what do you call it? Bringing value to your stakeholders with solutions that you prefer. Then you are already practicing business analysis. So when we talk about moving from curiosity to your career or being certified professionals, what we have discovered today about the fact that our practice and our day-to-day jobs are actually in line with business analysis, but we did not know or probably um, we have an idea of what we know our way, angle of so curiosity. You in this way shows that you want to know more about okay from healthcare. So that curiosity is what also drove me to an extent into business analysis. It's enough. You have to now develop the skills in business analysis. So there are techniques, the framework we have just discussed, there are perspective, there is a lot that we need to know in the BA field. Now there's supposed to be a certain structure that will help watching random videos probably on YouTube and nothing without structure. Now, the practice as well comes with standards. So we have our standard, which is a business analysis body of knowledge that we use that helps us navigate our practice. Now, certification also comes in to endorse your skills. And we look at the global, as I said, state of business analysis document, and I'll talk more about it. And it also shows that you're on a path for career development or career advancement. Okay. So if you are curious about business analysis and you want to move from your curiosity, you have to pursue structured learning. You have to pursue practical application, which will eventually bring you to a place of confidence, and certification would now cement your expertise, okay, or the skills that you have. So why does certification matter? So certification that, first of all, IIBA is International Institute of Business Analysis. Now, it is a global non-profit organization that guides BA practice, okay? And so you can even be, these days, you can be a non-paying member. You can check IIBA out. There are a lot of resources you can benefit, articles and all that. So when you get your certification from IIBA, we have the ECBA, CCBA, and then the CBAP. All these certifications are globally recognized. So in Ghana, if you have a CBAP, it is the same CBAP that some Canada, also a common language of standardization, okay? In output of your work, right? And then there's also this confidence that comes when you go ahead to do your analysis, state of business analysis report. statistics from South Africa, which at least we know that this from Africa. Okay. Now, job titles. This is what I was saying earlier. See the job titles that are here. We have different job titles ranging from being called a business analyst, but we can see something like business relationship manager. And this analyst, we can see a professor, we can see a system analyst, operation analyst, we have consultants here. All these are PBAP, ECBA, CCBA, all these have been beneficial to them. Now, one respondent from IRBA Poland chapter said their certification has given, or her certification has given her a solid foundation of the knowledge that helps her approach her work with greater precision. So the rigor of the certification process, okay, helps you with the actual fundamental knowledge to practice business analysis intentionally. So the benefit, we are seeing that some people saw benefits from certification about 35% within a month. Some say within 1 to 6 months. Some are saying 17% are saying 6 to 12 months, and 19% are saying after a year. So we have people that are saying higher confidence at work. The certification that they have written is 22%, upskilling 21%. So salary increment 14%, greater fulfillment at work 12%. All these are benefits that they got from certification. So it's good to be curious. When you come into a structured learning environment, it will lead you to a place of eventually taking your certification. And these are some of the benefits of certification. There's also ability to find a job. So now we can see that business analysis certification is something that benefits us enormously. These are the various things that we're spoken about. It includes about 7 different benefits: higher confidence, upscaling, salary increase, greater fulfillment at work, ability to find a job, promotion, and then improve performance review rating. All these are benefits that are backed by data. That's why I showed it to you from a global state of this analysis. So it is not just enough to be curious. You have to move from curiosity, get your certification, and you will be part of the percentage of people who have benefited from any of these angles due to certification. All right. So, finally, I have already shown you why a certification in business analysis is important. I have shown you that you don't need to be called to practice business analysis. A lot of us are already practicing business analysis without even knowing. So when you get to learn in a structured environment, you practice with guidance. You join professional community. So IIBA membership. I remember someone telling me that her job that she got, it was because she was an IIBA member. The panel were simply impressed that she is an IIBA member, and that increased her chance of getting the job. So I would like you to consider the upcoming cohort from Center for Business Analysis. A new business analysis cohort is coming up, and I would like you to consider that because the benefits of being a certified business analyst are enormous. To tell you, I showed you what the benefits are. So I'll then hear, and if there are any questions, we'll take them. Stop sharing.
Thank you, Coach. All right, please, we are taking questions. Time for Q&A. If you have any questions that you would like to ask before we end our session. But I have a question. So if I'm allowed to ask my question first, how do you handle, my question is based on what Yasmin spoke about in reference to internal bureaucracies. How do you handle such things as a BA?
Okay. So in business analysis, part of the perspective of business analysis is improvement. So we as BAs, we can consider a process, and if there is a need to review it, we review, remove replications, duplications of these processes. At the end of the day, we were going to cut out the waste in the process, and most of the time, bureaucracies fall in that category. So if you're able to come up with a strong case of looking at that process, because probably it has led to customer dissatisfaction. And if you keep getting these feedbacks, it means that you have to look at that process again. So if you get the opportunity to look at the process, there are techniques that you can use. So in process modeling or process analysis, you find that you're able to draft this process. For the stakeholders who are involved in this process, you will see the steps in the process. If you're able to tell what the steps are in the process, who the stakeholders are involved, sometimes some of the steps can be totally removed. That is when you that is when you come up with the to-be process or the future desired process. You would realize that all manual waste processes or aspects of the process can be eliminated. And in that way, you come up with the important part of the process and remove all those time-wasting aspects. Okay, Richard.
I thank you so much. So, please unmute yourself and speak. Richard, can you hear? Or it's a mistake or second hand 2 to 3 minutes and then we'll be out of here? Or is that your reflection so far? The business analysis is a mindset. Everything obviously starts with your mind. So, any reflections? Eugene, please unmute yourself and go ahead. Eugene, can you hear me? Okay.
I think someone else, AJ.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, Eugene, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So with the program, so it's the lecture the after the boot camp. But I just want to understand what is the shortest possible time that somebody can be able to use to write the exam and then go through the certificate.
Okay. Thank you, Eugene. So we don't have the shortest time. I would say the time is your dedication and how much you want this, right? Because you go through the babok, which is the standard, with us step by step. Now, once you are done, over that period, once you are done, we have mock sessions. We have, before you go into the other tools and stuff about business analysis, you have the mock sessions and all. But if you are really dedicated within that 6 months frame of this program, you can write it. But as I said, after we have prepared you, you would have to take the step of registering and also making yourself available for the exam. So within a 6 months period, you should be able to write this exam.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eugene. AJ Kwate, you can unmute yourself and speak. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And good afternoon.
Thank you and good afternoon.
I want to ask. The cost factors. Is it a platform? To ask, or that should be private? What is the cost? I don't know if it was mentioned before I joined. For this whole program.
It was not mentioned.
Okay.
It was not mentioned before, but once this class is over, you can contact the number here. You would get the whole structure and the cost and everything. It's a whole structure, right? So AJ Kwate, the number on the poster, right? When you contact this number, you'll be sent all the information that you need to register and also to join us.
All right, thank you.
Richard.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, we
Richard,
can
please
hear
go
you.
ahead.
Good afternoon. Okay. Thanks for the presentation. I want to contribute to the question that the lady asked. Which our coach give the answer. What I've seen is that various organizations.
We can't hear him, or just me.
No, we lost him.
Yeah, I think we've lost him.
Okay. So we can't hear him. We can't hear him. So maybe we have to move.
Efficiency, our communication, voices get low. I think that recognition will come, and henceforth, I think, where I come, most of the times, if they don't consider you, this for the top, and the thing that is all. Meanwhile, solution is down there. We are the implementation, everything there. You take this up there and comes down. It cannot be implemented because the users were not organized. So the stakeholders, some of them were left out. So we have all this experience, but getting to them is the problem. Being certified, I think, very serious, and that we must take note of it. Thank you very much.
Richard, we lost you, so you have to re-say everything again for us.
Okay, please hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm saying that respect to we in a various organization department partisan BA formally I think the decisions taken is mostly from down, but less. From bottom up. At times it's a problem. So I was talking about recognition. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
yes, we can.
Recognition is the problem now. So I mean, when you get satisfied, I think when they get to know that I think that's when maybe they may take you. That's when maybe they may take some serious things we really know. Because some of the things we really know. Information hasn't get to that. Information hasn't get to that. Decisions have been taken up there. Implementation becomes a problem. So when we get satisfied, I believe they will know that we've gone through all this training. The world has organized us. Therefore, they may take us serious. That's my suggestion. My contribution to the webinar. Thank you. Hello, I'm done, please.
All right, Sababa.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for vouching that once you get certified, it puts you on a different level from your other colleagues. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for joining this session in this webinar. We look forward to having all of you join us in our next webinar in February, which will be coming up soon. So please look out for our flyers. Don't forget to take the contact that was shared on the flyer, and please reach out to us 024-690-8200. You can call us or send us a text message on WhatsApp, and then we'll reach out to you and let you know the calls. Thank you. It's been projected 024-6809-200. And bear in mind that our next cohort starts 7th February 2026, which is next week, Saturday. Please register, call the number and register, and start your business analysis journey with Center for Business Analysis. Once again, my name is Kyle, and I'm the program coordinator for Center for Business Analysis. And we'll see you in February, in person and online. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.